Hey guys, today we're going to be stringing a Babla Boost Test tennis racket with a new professional Gamma stringing machine that we recently got. Let's get started. Now we're going to measure the current tension of the strings to get a before and after of the stringing. This is a tennis stringing calibrator to test the current tension of the strings. You just put it around the middle of the racket, twist until the arrow meets the string, and it's around 43 right now, and we'll be aiming to get it around 50 when we're done. So this is our Gamma stringing machine, and we've taken a few lessons from our coach, and we're going to show you how to string the racket on this. The machine has a 6-point clasping system, so that means that it holds a racket in 6 different places for better stability. Over here, it has a manual tension puller, so this is how we're going to be pulling the tension on the strings, and these are the clamps which we're going to clamp the strings with. To set the tension, we use this knob. If you turn it to the left, it will decrease tension, and if we turn it to the right, it will increase it. Right now, we have it set to 48 pounds. The first step to start stringing a racket is to cut the old strings. I'm going to use a red clipper to do this. The best way is to start right here and go as fast as you can. We have now taken out all of the strings and are going to go and clamp it onto the machine. When you are clamping a racket, make sure that you clamp it firmly but not too hard, as that could damage the racket. Tighten it from all sides evenly. The next step is to measure out our string. This particular tennis racket has a 16 by 19 string pattern, so that means that we're going to first measure out 16 strings. This first string counts as 1, and just guide your hand and count till 16. 2, 3, 4,
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16,
and 17 for good measure. So here we have 50% of the string on this side and 50% on this side. And now we're going to start to string and tension 4 strings on this side, 8 on this, and then the last 4 on this side, as this racket has 16 mains. Okay, so put your string through the next hole on the bottom, here, and bring it out through the parallel one on top. Don't fully bring all the string to this side, leave some slack. This is how we're going to tension this first main on the left. Bring it over to the tension pulling mechanism. Put this string's end underneath the Diablo and hook it onto this mechanism. Next, pull the lever until this lock latches. This means that it's in locked position. And this string right here now is tension. We're going to take this clamp and clamp it as close to the bottom as we can without interfering with this lock over here. Clamp the head first and then the base. This is how you tension all of the strings. Next, to lightly loosen it, just launch the lock back in place. And here we have 1 string tensioned. If you are still confused, I'm going to string 3 more mains on the left before switching over and doing 8 on the right. Okay, so 3 strings have been tensioned on the left side, and we're going to tension the one last 4th one before moving on to the right side. Okay, Now pull this through. 4 strings have been tensioned, and now we're going to move on to the right side. Do all of the right side before moving back to the left. Now, just like we tensioned the 4 strings on the left side, we're going to start to tension the 4 strings on the right side. At this point, make sure that all the 8 strings that you have strung have been correctly tensioned, just slightly by checking with your hands. Every racket is different, but for this particular racket, we're going to skip the 8th and the 10th garment hole. If you're not sure which hole to skip, you can always search it online. Now we're on the 7th garment hole on this side, so we'll skip the 8th one and put our string to the 9th hole. We will skip the same garment hole on the other parallel side and put our string through the 9th one. This will be the last string on this side of the racket. This is the final main of the right side. So we're going to tension this. And then we're going to knot the string. So this was the last string that we had to tension, and now we're going to show you how to tie the ending knot for the right side of the mains. Okay, so find the second last main that you strung and put the ending of the string through its hole. This might be a little tough to do, but make sure you have pliers, which will really be helpful for this, and pull the string all the way through. The next thing, watch carefully, is you're going to go over and under the string and then through its loop, like this. Then you go inside its loop and then inside its loop and then out, like this. Okay, then take your pliers, hold this part of the string and pull this tightly. Not very tight, but firm. Then take the other ending of the string and pull this. Make sure your knot is very tight, because if it isn't, when you hit a tennis ball, all your strings will unwind. Once you have firmly tightened your knot, use a clipper and cut down any excess string. Make sure you get rid of any string that would stick in the way of you hitting the tennis ball. Repeat the same process of tensioning the strings and doing the knot on the left side to finish the racket. Just like before, we gotta skip the 8th hole and tension the 7th. And we skip the 8th, and the 9th hole will be our last hole before we knot it. I have finished the 8 strings on this side, and I'm just going to end it with the same knot we did at the start. All of the mains are done, and now we're going to head to the crosses. So now we're going to measure our string for the crosses. This racket is a 16 by 19 string pattern, so we're going to count 19 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 19 and a half for good measure. So to start the first cross, put your string through the first hole over here and weave the string through. You have to alternate the which side of the string you go through. If you start on up, you gotta go up, under, over, all the way across. After you do that, just bring all of the string to the other side. I've pulled all of the string to the other side, and now I'm gonna knot it. So you go over the string, and then under its own loop, and then over the string, inside of the loop, and then through the big loop. This is the starting knot for the crosses. Then you take your pliers and just pull this tight. I have weaved the second string as well. Now I'm going to tension the first string we weaved. We're going to do this for all of the crosses. Repeat the same procedure for all of the crosses. So I have done all the crosses, and now I'm going to show you how to tie the ending knot. So you go under the string and then pull over through this loop, just like the one we did to end the mains, start the mains. Okay, and then you push it through the same loop, but this time you bring it out. You push it to the same loop, but this time you bring it out through its own loop, like this. So this is how you, and then you would tug on this knot till it's fully tight, and then on this one. This is all done, so now we can clip the extra string that we have. I finished stringing the racket, and now I'm going to unmount it. It's ready to play.